seen so much work that comes from a simple tweet or a simple post, and then you dive deep on it, and you kind of build a brand play on it. What is the role of actually community and co-creation, and how we actually involve people around it, which is just not us creatives doing it?
Well, I mean, Lyft is incredibly cheap in terms of when it comes to budgets. So we're always trying to do things. The brand grew being very entrepreneurial, very kind of guerrilla style marketing, and was very successful doing all of that stuff. So even though the company's sort of grown up post IPO, there's still sort of the feeling of like, do we have to spend paid media? Can't we just like get people to do stuff for us? And so at Lyft, it's very much about coming up with ideas that people are going to want to participate with and play with themselves. That's really our media is other people's platforms, because there's this disdain for paid media, and success has always come when people pick up whatever we throw out there and they want to start playing with it themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too, because right now it feels like there's a tension between sort of the aging marketer population and what's happening in culture. And maybe it's sort of the elephant in the room, but you have marketing executives who gravitate towards a 60-second spot because it's their comfort zone. And it's like, oh, okay, I can obsess over this and talk about each frame, and they understand storyboards, and they've been doing it their whole life. And yet social is often like buried in an organization. What I don't understand in a lot of teams that I've seen or people I've talked to, why it's not next to the CMO. Like, I think it is the stool. I don't think it's a leg of the stool. I think it's the stool. And it's how we need to participate, whether it's releasing a beautiful ad that's the comfort zone, or making these kind of quick and dirty ideas come to life. Like, I think that I just would love to see social in general elevated to a key part of an org. Like, and I'm always the one that's cornering, the 24-year-old social media manager, because I'm like, you're my tools. Like, let's talk. They're kind of, freaked out by that. But anyway, get out of my face, old lady.
So we've actually picked up on that and have built out a pretty robust social studio. Because that is the way that we're growing. Yeah. And also, to be honest, because we're cheap when it comes to paid media. So we now have a very robust studio with marketers, with creative leaders who grew up at BuzzFeed and both all kinds of interesting places. So many of our stories that people care about. Not just, jumping on some trend or some meme, but so many stories that people care about, like safety in a car, or can I make a good living? We do really much better with TikTok and drivers talking to other drivers about how they can hack the system to make the best possible living. For us, the social is in some ways the best way to stay in constant contact with our communities. Yeah.